Tour can be grueling. Like most artists, if you talk to artists, like tour is hard. You're constantly in a van, in a bus, in a car, on a plane. If you're, a bigger artist, you're not getting a ton of sleep. You are giving it your all every night, and sometimes 2-3 nights in a row for shows, if not more, with a day or so for a break, and the break is usually just driving 10 plus hours to the next city. What's up, you guys? I'm really excited to open up a little bit today about something that really was transformative for me, and that is the Angel Tour. My journey into going on tour was a very long one, and one that I was nervous about even until the day before I left. And that is because I created Weeping Angel before and after my mom passed away. And toward the end of creating it into the piece that we thought it was going to be, my mom passed away, and we weren't expecting that. And it really changed the course of what the album turned into. And Weeping Angel became a lot more serious, a lot more spiritual, a lot more, full of what I was going through and what I'm still going through. And in that journey, once the album was complete, there was instantly a want for me to go on tour from my team and people around me. Because with an album like this, especially a debut album, people are expecting a tour. So I struggled and struggled and struggled. There were multiple dates and months and times thrown out around when it was good to go on tour, and I said no a couple times in a row because I just didn't feel ready to be my best. And I felt like if I'm gonna go on the road, I need to be the very best version of myself that I can possibly be, and I need to take longer than I usually would to prepare. I need to start rehearsing earlier. I know that personally in my journey with grief, it's forced me to slow down a bit, and things just take me longer. It takes me longer to form a sentence. Like, it's just all those little things, let alone go on stage and do what I want to do. Okay, you can sit with Mom. Okay. We have a Rockefeller who joined us. I knew that I was gonna have to go on tour eventually. Like, I knew that it would open up my heart. I knew that it would be impactful, and mostly to myself. But I had no idea how impactful it would be, how eye-opening it would be. When I tell you that I literally wrote out a list in my phone, in my notes app, of probably 50 different things, like 50 different intentions, 50 different tasks that I needed to do every day when I was on the road. Everything from multiple vitamins, things that I wanted to manifest, and things I wanted to say to myself and encourage myself with every day. There were all kinds of, like meditative and emotional and psychological things that I wanted to do in order to be my best at a time where I was not feeling my best. And when we picked the dates to go out on the road, I felt better than I had felt in a really long time, and I knew that I had a long ways to go when it came to taking care of myself. So I did a ton of things ahead of time, not only for my physical health, but also for my mental health, in order to prepare for this tour. Opening night was at South by Southwest in Austin. It was so special, and it was about half of the show. And the next night was in Dallas, and it was just, there are no words. I was overwhelmed in the best way with grace for myself, and I was proud of myself. And I hadn't really felt proud of myself in a long time. If I felt proud of myself, it was usually like just for getting through the day. And to do that first show, and then that second show, which was really the first full show, it felt like I had tapped back into my destiny and who I am supposed to be and how I feel my best. Through everything, this space of feeding myself so much goodness when it came to the way I thought about myself, the way I spoke to myself. I had therapy sessions when I was on the road every week. I just made my health a priority, and I had never really done that before. I was always just hustling and trying to be my best under all kinds of circumstances. And this time, I established things ahead of time that made me feel comfortable. And as a Taurus, our comfort is very key. This tour taught me things that I wasn't expecting. One of those things was it taught me that while my biggest fear was to not be able to show up as my best self, every night when I got on that stage, I felt my mom. I felt like I stepped into who I'm meant to be. And I felt like the audience was giving me so much love and so much energy that I hadn't experienced in such a long time, that it felt like the hug and the embrace and the support that I needed, like so desperately needed. And every night it became my goal to give that back as much as I could through every song, through every lyric, through every common thing that we share and the things that we differ in. I felt changed by each show. Every single show, every single meet and greet, something in it changed me for the better. It opened my eyes up to what music can do for people. It opened my eyes up to the strength that I have. It opened my eyes up to mostly the strength that all of you have who came to the shows and shared your stories with me. I felt seen in things I haven't felt seen in my whole life. And I hope that you felt that too. It was transformative. And each night and every show that went on, I felt more and more in tune with myself. And to be totally transparent, I haven't felt like that in a really, really long time. For many reasons. And you guys and this tour handed me back to myself. And in turn, I hope I was able to hand a part of you back to yourself through the art and through the music. I will never be the same after this tour, and I wish I could live in the bubble that this tour was, because I know that that's something that I can't even tap into again. It was something that was really needed for my healing at the time that it happened, and I'm also proud of myself for waiting and taking the time without being on the road and just being in creative mode for a while. But I think when it happened, it needed to happen, and I needed to have a wake-up call that people care and that people are affected by the music, and that it's worth it, and it's worth the tears, and it's worth all of the feelings that I've gone through in creating each song, to put it out there, because art matters, and art is it's something that creates a bridge for us to share our feelings with each other. When I'm writing some of these songs, especially songs that are incredibly vulnerable, that I feel like, should I even do this? Like, this is the most painful thing I've ever been through. Should I put this out? I remember that these tears from my heart are like walking across this little bridge to your heart when you listen. And for that, it's worth putting it out in the world, even if one person is affected by it, like Blue Eyes, for example. And my mom was on my first tour with me for the second half, and I knew that that was going to be something that would be hard to face. I had the support of my close team members that are my best friends, and my dad, and I will just always remember how special this tour was, and the fact that it gave me again. I always talk about wanting to make my music in a way that I can kind of hold up a mirror to you and show you how beautiful you are, and show you that your struggles are understood, that your pain is seen, your joy is valued. And on this tour, you held up a mirror for me, and I hadn't looked in that mirror in a really long time. And I'm so grateful for you. So I just want to say thank you, because I can't wait to get back on the road, and I can't wait to feel even just an ounce of those feelings again. And most importantly, I can't wait to channel that energy to you all in the crowd, because I can't even put into words how much the Angel Tour changed me right when I needed it to. I love you guys.